Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item C, approval of minutes from April 15th, 2019, regular council meeting. In the absence of any objections or corrections, those minutes shall stand approved. Stand approved. Item D. Any citizens out there that would like to come before the council? See none. Moving on to item E, reports from council committees. The Finance and Budget Committee did not meet on April 22nd due to lack of agenda items. Safety and Human Resources Committee met on April 22nd, 2019. Dan?
Okay, we did meet on April 22nd and recommended that council approve the adjunct fire instructor and adjunct EMS instructor for the fire department.
Thank you very much. And the Technology Committee did not meet tonight due to lack of agenda items. Moving on to item G, introduction of new ordinances and resolutions. Resolution number 032-19. A resolution awarding the East and West Graceway Drive Street Improvements Project and declaring an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Joel?
Thank you, Council President. This is the project that we had discussed at the last council meeting. We did not have this on the master bid ordinance in the beginning of the year, so we needed to have legislation for this project. The lowest bidder came in, was Geddes Paving and Excavating, came in at $439,837.60. The engineer's estimate was $465,000, and we did do, there was a request to take a look into Geddes Paving and check the references, so Chad put together just the following information that was in your packet in the memo. But basically, they did follow and comply with all the bidding requirements and got good reviews from their references. So the recommendation is to approve of the award of this contract. However, we don't have suspension requested on this particular item at this time, and I kind of struggled with this a little bit. From my perspective, just looking at from the financial perspective, after the income tax refund that was refunded last year, in excess of $1 million, if we went first read and maybe suspended the rules at the next council meeting, I think it would give Kent a little bit more time to get more comfortable with where we are financially. So maybe if we did a first read this time, and then we can report back maybe at the next couple weeks in the council meeting to see where everybody's comfort level is. And I know that was a big hit for the city financially. So just trying to take it slow, not rush into this, but make sure we're dotting our I's, crossing our T's.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments? Rox, please call the roll.
Ken?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Jeffy?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Travis?
Yes.
Jeff M.
Yes.
Moving on to item G2 is resolution number 033-19, a resolution authorizing the directing the city manager with assistance from the Maumee Valley Planning Organization to execute and submit any and all documents necessary to apply for and accept a transportation improvement district grant and declaring an emergency. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Joel?
Thank you. This legislation, we are requesting suspension due to making sure that we can get the application turned in on time. We're requesting, I believe we can apply for up to $250,000. We have the engineer's estimate. This is for American Road, the section from Industrial Drive to Oakwood Avenue. What we would use the funding for is for the engineering of the road. So just to give a little background on what the project is. We're also seeking funds from Ohio Jobs and Commerce and 629 funds that we can obtain through Jobs Ohio. Also, we're working with Maumee Valley Planning Organization on this grant application. They're actually taking the lead on this for us because of the Shank Properties development that's occurring on Freedom Drive that makes us eligible for these funding sources. So they're familiar with these funding programs. This is something that we haven't applied for before, so we're going to use them for assistance.
Good. Any questions?
How much is the engineering for that project?
Typically, it's 10% of the job, so in the engineer's estimate, we have it as a $2.5 million cost estimate, so it'd be $250,000. I can get to the bottom line.
We have a motion for suspension.
And just wait a second. Have all the water lines been upgraded? What I mean by upgraded, the bolts out there were eaten away because the soil's so hot?
Oh, the corrosive soils?
Yes.
As far as I know, that water line is functioning just fine. If you get southeast on Enterprise, I think that's where they were having issues from before. Is that correct? And you might know more about it historically than I do, but I wasn't sure if American Road has had any issues. Because that's a newer line,
yes,
a different.
It's 12-inch line.
Because that was a different year of construction, I believe.
But yes, we've had a few of the valves.
A few of the valves went bad on that.
Well, the bolts. Then we put stainless bolts, and I thought, since we're doing the project, we ought to have some kind of update on the valves, because there's every 500 feet, I think there's a valve.
Yeah,
We ought to check it out and see, since we're going to be digging.
Yeah, well,
you're gonna be moving the soil away from them valves.
Right. I'll double check that
Yeah.
with Chad, but he did take a look at it, and I think he's he's okay with it. We talked about both water and sewer lines and what we needed to do, if anything, and the feedback that he gave was that
Okay.
they're sufficient.
I just don't wanna, here we go, we got the job done, and we're out there digging again.
Have it right.
Sure?
Yeah.
Yep. I'll
Yeah.
report back.
Sure.
Now, would that change the estimate at all? Or is that just something that could be added while they're doing that? Wouldn't affect it too much?
It won't affect this grant application.
Okay.
Because it's for the engineering of the design work. So looking at design, if awarded, it'll be awarded July 2015. And then,
July when?
2019, sorry.
I
Okay.
knew what you meant.
2019, yeah. July 2019, and then design starting in 2019 and into 2020. And hopefully, if we can, start construction in 2020, if the stars align with the rest of the funding.
Okay.
So,
We need a motion for suspension if we want to do this, or
Move suspension.
I'll second.
hey, Rox, please call the roll on suspension.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeffy,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments? Hey, Rox, please call the roll on the resolution.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeffy,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
Okay, that has passed on first read. Moving on
That
to...
passed with emergency suspension, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on to item H, second readings and ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 030-19, an ordinance amending certain City of Napoleon traffic schedules, specifically Schedule 2, parking time limits on certain city streets and one-way streets and alleys as listed in the attached Exhibit A, and repealing ordinance number 009-18. Have a motion?
I'll move.
Second.
Hey, Joel?
Thank you, Council President. Nothing's changed from our last meeting. This is just second read, and this, again, was due, this change is needed due to the changes that were made in downtown during the downtown Phase 2 project.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Rox, please call the roll on second read.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeffy,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to item H2, resolution number 031-19, a resolution approving the addition of a $50 per month surcharge to the City of Napoleon, Ohio employee health insurance premiums and declaring an emergency. Got a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Nothing has changed from the last meeting also. I did mention at the last meeting that I could have somebody from Chapman & Chapman come in. Didn't get any response back, so we talked today, so he wouldn't have to travel tonight. He stayed home, but if somebody would like for somebody from Chapman & Chapman to come in at the next council meeting, just let me know, and I can arrange that. So other than that, I have nothing new to report on this item.
Any other questions or comments? Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes. I said yes. Did I?
Yes.
You did.
Jeffy,
Did I say
Yes.
that loud?
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis,
No.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
All right. Item I, third reads, we have none tonight, so we'll move on to item J, the good of the city. J1, discussion or action on adjunct fire instructor and adjunct EMS instructor for the fire department.
I'm going to turn it right over to Chief O'Brien.
All right.
Yeah, so this, as you know, the training facility is up and operational now. And with that being said, we also put together a memorandum of understanding with Fort County Career Center that conducts a lot of the Fire 1 and Fire 2 classes. They didn't have the proper facility to be able to conduct the actual skills portion of those, meaning the live fire burns or the search and rescue and those sorts of skills that have to be checked off at the state or to be ordered to be certified by the state. So with that memorandum of understanding, all their classes come to us, and I found that we had a need really quickly for additional instructors. The adjunct instructors will not be a part of the emergency response of the fire department. They will only be solely what I foresee as retired firefighters or other firefighters that work somewhere else, but they will not be a part of the emergency response, meaning they won't have to be a part of our on-call, our training things. It'll be only just sold for the division of training. That way, take for example on Saturday, we just had a 4-county class out there, and we had Assistant Chief Fry out there. We always have to have a safety officer that we do bill them for, and then additional instructors that we bill for as well. So there's a student to instructor ratio that's always has to be maintained, so that's why it requires so many instructors at any given time. So that's how this kind of was dreamt up, and it begins the the birth of our training division out there.
Do you have specific requirements for a retired firefighter or anybody that's going to be
Yeah,
training?
so I worked very closely with Lainey. Lainey did a really nice job as far as putting together the job descriptions for these positions. And you do have to have a state certification as a fire instructor, which is an additional class, and then also the same for EMS. So if it's usually about, depending on how long it takes, you can do the instructor class in just over a couple months, but it's a completely separate adult education test that they have to take.
And do they pay for that themselves?
They have to be it before we hire them.
Okay.
So we won't hire anybody that doesn't have it. The only say certification that they may not have, because it's very limited in our area on the EMS side, is what we call ACLS or PALS. And that stands for Advanced Cardiac Life Support for the adult patient, or the Pediatric Advanced Life Support. And so there's not very many instructors that have that, but I do see it's a need. So I'm an instructor for both of those and have done a lot of the classes, and I know that there's a lot of people that need it, and so I think that in our area, that would be the only one that we would send them to. But it wouldn't, if there was a cost, it would be very minimal, and that'd be through Wood County Hospital. So, but otherwise, they will already be state certified EMS instructors and state certified fire instructors.
Chief, could you just briefly share the cost here involved?
So I proposed to the committee that we would pay these individuals $20 per hour. That was based on doing a small study on the locals with Bryan, 4-County, Penna Career Center, or Owens Community College. And there was one more that I had pulled too. I don't remember off the top of my head. But coming up with that being $20 an hour, we actually, in our fee schedule, if you remember right, in our fee schedule that we put together last year, for an assistant instructor, we charge $35 per hour, and for a lead instructor, we charge $50 per hour. So we'll never lose money on them being out there. It's definitely a benefit for us to be able to provide the instructors, and I would much rather have instructors that work for us and know what our standards are out there at that facility. So yeah, that answer your question, Dan? Okay.
Great.
Is there any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll need
On this one, they'll actually need 2 pieces of legislation. The first is to amend the fire department codifieds. The way it's written, it needs to be changed slightly, and then we'll also need to draft something to amend the fire department positions and pay in the pay ordinance. There are certain positions listed there and pay, but these positions are obviously not in there since we're just doing it now. So it'll be 2 pieces of legislation. If council directed the law director to draft the necessary legislation to effectuate this, that would be enough.
So we can do one vote and cover both legislations?
It would be
or-
2 pieces of legislation. I mean, for
So-
the motion, for purposes of this, to give me direction, yeah, 1 vote's enough.
Okay.
And I'll bring back 2 pieces of legislation.
Great.
So moved.
Second.
What he said.
Yeah.
Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeffy,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Moving on to item J2, discussion or action of JV5 lease agreement. Joel.
Thank you. So in 2017, AMP and the JV5 participants voted to sell off certain outdated diesel units. In Napoleon, we had 3 of them. Those were near the, right across the street from Tenneco, basically, on Enterprise. And, I'm sorry, is that Enterprise? Yeah, Enterprise, I got it right. Since they were sold, they were removed along with all the diesel tanks, and we had attached to this is a environmental report from Hull & Associates, stating that all the soils were sampled and everything tested out clean. And but as part of this, we have a lease agreement with AMP. At this point, since the JV5 units are no longer on the site, they're just requesting that we mutually terminate the JV5 lease agreement since it's no longer needed.
A simple motion is sufficient in my opinion, simply because we've already effectively terminated this lease agreement by prior action. So I think a motion to terminate is sufficient here.
Okay. We have a motion?
Motion to terminate.
Second.
Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeffy,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff Downs.
Yes.
All right, that's been approved. Item J3, discussion and action and memorandum of understanding the school resource officer between the City of Napoleon and Napoleon area schools. Kent, you've been quiet. You want to do this one?
I'll defer.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
Thank you, Council President. As you know, and as we've discussed since the budget cycle and up until now, we've been talking about entering into an MOU with the schools to add a school resource officer to the schools. Right now, we have the completed first draft, I'll say, or near final draft, or substantially complete draft, however you want to call it. But what this does is it just sets the terms and conditions of what the MOU, what's supposed to be completed as a part of this MOU. And that is that the city will staff an officer at the schools during the school year and during the time that school is in session, up to 190 days. What we'll do is we'll document the time spent at the school. Any extra time or overtime that's needed, we'll document that as well, and it will be an invoice that will be sent to the schools is how it's set up. So then just some of the other details of this are that schools will provide the upfit of the vehicle. Let me get down to the bottom here and go through the list. So compensation is 190 days in any given year. Any uniforms, the school district, so these are the items that the school district will provide: uniforms and appurtenances that, shirts, pants, duty belts, anything else that the school resource officer would need. Ballistics vest. We use grant money, so if we can get grant money, then that would offset that cost for the schools. So if we can get that for them, we'll do that. Vehicle graphics work. Training expenses. There's I believe it's a 4-week, maybe 3-week SRO basic training class. There's a DARE class, and there's a de-escalation course that we'll have the SRO go through. And then the school district, if they want a school district radio, they'll have to provide that to them. What we'll provide is the vehicle upfit, the duty weapon, laptop, portable radio, which will be the new radio system that's coming online, and ammunition. At this point, I think we covered everything as a part of this. We've been kind of wringing our hands over this for the past several months, and I think we got it right where we need it. But there's a good amount of detail in here, I think, that covers us and the schools. So And that about covers it. So as Billy mentioned, we just need a simple motion for to enter into this MOU. As a side note, the schools, this will be on the school board agenda for their June meeting. So, but they'll have to pass it in that June meeting in order for us to be able to make sure we staff the position and everything else. So they're aware of that, and they know, and they've given this a look, and there have been no changes, I don't think, since the last time each side has taken a look at it. So.
So will this officer, when the school's not in session, is he going to be like a lucky teacher and have the whole summer off, or does he go to work?
Yeah, right. No, they'll be on the road.
Okay. And if there's a snow day or something, is he working?
There's we did cover that in here. Calamity days, 2-hour delays, things like that. They still report to the school, but they don't report to the school on those days. They shift over to the road on days off. Make-up days in the summer, they got to come in, and that's still part of the school year. So
Okay.
So that's why they have up to 190 days for those reasons. Just to kind of give a little more flexibility. They think it'll be more like 185 days in a typical year, but we'll be billing out the days that they'll be working there, so full days. So even with a 2-hour delay, that's still considered a full day.
Okay.
I am assuming that the training has to be completed before they can start in the school.
Correct. And it'll be, through the contract. Through the contract, it'll be officers will be able to, bid on that job assignment. So it'll be an assignment, special assignment.
Are we going to have enough vehicles? If we take a car did I cut you off,
No,
Councilman?
I was just gonna bring that up, where we're
Yep.
gonna get the vehicles.
Well, if we could take a car for the potential K-9 unit that we're raising a lot of dollars for, and take a car for this, are we going to be short regular standard
We're
cruiser?
No, because what the plan is, we're rotating out 2 next year, 2. We're rotating out 1 this year. And, the plan is to have one of those vehicles rotate to the SRO.
Okay.
Which in theory won't have as much road time because they're going to be on campus. So they'll spend 60% of the time right now. It looks like they'll be going back and forth.
The exterior of the car is
between
going to change. Is the interior of the car going to change?
No.
Still fully loaded?
Yeah, they'll
like
have,
all
like,
the
the
normal
lap-
stuff that's in the back seat
Yeah. So
or in the very back?
the laptop, if they need to be dispatched, they'll
Right.
be
It's
dispatched.
just going to be skinned
Yep.
with the DARE program stuff on it, I'm going to assume, right?
Not there.
With whatever graphics they want to put on there.
Okay.
They decide, yeah.
But they are doing the DARE program also, right? Did I read that in there?
Yeah, so since the sheriff's office isn't going to be doing that anymore, we're assuming that role
Okay.
through this
Okay.
SRO.
That's why I said the DARE program.
And I think there's a funding associated with that too, through the Adams Board.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And you need a motion for
Yep.
legislation?
Just a motion, actually. Legislation's not needed here.
I just want to make sure that.
So moved.
Second.
Short cars.
Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff C.
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff Bell.
Yes. All right. Moving on to item J4, the radio loan agreement with Henry County.
Okay, I don't have a draft of that here with us right now, and I believe that, Kent, you had it sent to you, but we're waiting on the updated version with the appropriate signatures on it, but at this time, this has to do with if you recall, when we talked about this during the budget cycle, and Chief, please chime in at any time. The Henry County Commissioners decided that they were going to do the zero interest loans for 10 years to make up for the cost of the radios for all the communities that will be purchasing them. So this is that loan agreement. I believe it's roughly around $65,000 or $67,000 for the loan for 10 years. That was part of what the discussion was. So to enter in the loan agreement, I think.
Has that money been appropriated? Do we know? Is that something that for the loan for the loan for the radios? Have we appropriated that money already, or?
I know it was included in the budget process.
Included in the
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think the first payment
Per year.
was for
Yeah.
whatever it was, $6,500 or $6,700.
But simply to the legislation, because we'll need legislation, would be to expend the funds then, I guess. Okay. So we would need legislation to expend those funds.
Okay, thanks.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion or questions? I guess I have one question, just from when we talked about this in budget times. I think Chief Mack and Chief O'Brien talked about the importance of, like, right now, the radios that we have can't really switch from one channel to the other, and there could be multiple things going on in one channel. Is that right?
That is right. So we're currently on the conventional VHF system. We started experiencing some problems within our city due to the narrow banding that has been happening. So a lot of the frequencies that are being sold off to the cellular companies and so on. But additional to that is there was, in the county as a whole, Henry County only has one dispatch channel. And then all the departments have to operate not only on the fire ground or any incident that they get dispatched to on that same channel in the county. In Napoleon, we have one dispatch channel, and we're operating on that same dispatch channel on our normal channel on the fire ground as well. So there's only one channel to go to, and really makes it for a safety concern for the individuals that are on scene. If you have to talk to somebody and, you know, we're paging out another call, for example, if we're on a structure fire, we've always had 3 or 4 EMS calls usually during those times as well, and all that traffic's usually happening on that one channel that we have. So with this new system, we'll still have the dispatch channel, but it'll be completely separate than what we call the operational channels. So dispatch will dispatch us out on a main channel and then assign us a channel for that incident, and that'll be countywide. So in our case, we are zone 16 of the Lucas County system as a whole. So it doesn't matter if somebody comes from White House to the Breckenridge fire, all their radios will be able to switch to to zone 16, channel 5, and they'll be able to be on the same channel and same incident that we are on. So it's going to work really good for the county as all together when we operate on those incidents, especially in mutual aid incidents as well.
Thank you for that explanation. Any other questions, comments? Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeffy,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff M.
Yes. All right, moving on to item J5, accept donations of 2 pallets of water from Walmart for the fire department, total value of $318.40.
I have nothing more to report.
No? I don't understand. Oh, that's great.
Is that for brush fires?
Yeah. Is that from brush fires? Yeah.
All right, can I have a motion to accept this?
So moved.
Second.
Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff M.
Yes. All right. And item J6 is accept donations to the K-9 program. Who gave us them?
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Who's
one
that?
obviously.
Travis Schaefer.
Yeah, we got a few donations here.
I didn't want that put up there.
Napoleon Nazarene, Church of the Nazarene.
Show up for breakfast.
No.
And Tony Huner.
That's great. Awesome.
So I think that brings the grand total up to 17,250.
Great. Okay, could I have a-
Out of what, 19,000 or 19,500? Was that?
Well, the goal was, the bare minimum
Yeah.
goal was 15,000, but that
Okay.
was just to barely get us by. The more realistic number is 20,000.
Yeah.
So we're real close. Waiting on a couple other donations that have been verbally committed. So we get those, we'll hit our mark.
The casual for our cause from the Church of the Nazarene, is that going for general stuff, or is that going for the K-9 unit? Or for the Parks and Rec, or do we not know?
That,
Is that going to future keys for the city?
I can't
Well, that's
answer that.
probably their program.
Yeah.
Schedule for a cause.
Yeah, you wear casual clothes, then you pay $5, whatever it is, and that's why the church did that. But I'm just saying, do we know where that's going?
Well, my understanding is that they donated it for the K-9 unit.
Okay, that's my question.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did you get confirmation?
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Yep.
yes.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't talk to him directly.
No, I
It
just,
came in that
nope,
way.
nope, yep. Because I know they've done other stuff for Parks and Rec and other stuff, I didn't want to,
They do, yeah.
yeah, okay.
Any other questions, comments? Right, could I have a motion to accept these donations?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Ted,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff Steve,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis,
Abstain.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
You think there's conflict of interest?
You never know.
Okay, item J7, accept technology grant fund award in the amount of $67,899 from the Ohio Supreme Court to Napoleon Municipal Court.
Thank you. Billy, I don't know if you wanted to.
I don't know anything about this. So
Okay.
That's awesome.
Well, the courts were awarded a grant fund. As far as I know, there is no matching requirement as a part of this. So just requesting the acceptance of $67,899.
That's great.
I think Chris knows something. What?
Do you?
Yeah. It just came down really quick. They applied for it, and it's a technology grant to upgrade their software. There's several in the county. The courthouse also received this grant, and it's allowing them to go paperless.
Is there a match requirement?
No,
I didn't. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think there was, but.
we've already received the funds.
All right.
So everybody vote yes.
Yeah.
Have a motion?
Move to accept.
Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Ted,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff Steve,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
Good. Go around the table. I was gonna say we go over the soccer. I guess we'll welcome Kent since they're talking over there. So if you just have anything that you experienced in your short time with us, you can share things, or you can say past, whatever you want.
No, I have had a number of individual meetings with department heads, along with the staff, and those have all went extremely well. I appreciate everyone making me feel comfortable, and we've had great conversations one-on-one, and Chris has been a big help. I want to give her kudos, and you know, she's, as I told her, she's going to be or I'll be a pain in her side for a time period, and kind of forewarned her on that, but appreciate all her help and all the staff also. It's been thus far just kind of getting in and digging in, and kind of getting my bearings straight a little bit, but everyone's help has been greatly appreciated. So
Welcome.
Thank you.
Good, Lori?
Just welcome, Kent. I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you.
I think Chief O'Brien recently celebrated an anniversary or something, didn't you?
It's coming up.
Coming up?
Yeah.
How many?
May May 22nd will be our 15th.
No,
No,
your
for
own
you.
personal,
Oh.
for employment.
Chief.
I'm trying not to forget the one that's coming up.
Oh.
I tell myself all month, don't forget. So
That's funny.
About summer mind. But no, my work anniversary, yeah, that was April 20th. Yep.
As chief, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
so just congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And the other also.
Thank you.
Very important, more important.
What date did you say? I'll send you a text.
The day after.
All right, I will. Jeff?
What about Brick and Brew? What's going on there? I've had numerous citizens ask me, is there something the city can do to force his hand? What?
Well, I believe he still has the windows boarded up. I mean, he's going to have to make some fixes to that. Other than that, at this point, I mean, unless there's some kind of code violation or something that can be enforced upon to get him to move to do something with it. Chief, have you been in there since the fire?
I have not been in there, but I do know that Schulteis it's in the hands of Schulteis right now, so
Yeah.
the investigation and everything we've done is done with the fire department, but Schulteis has got some letters and things.
Yeah,
back and forth.
there was a letter sent,
Yeah.
there was a response back.
Sure.
I think I had sent that out to everybody on council at one point when we first got it. But basically, and if I didn't, I'll send it out and make sure you guys get it in the Friday packet.
Well, the reason I'm asking is also, we talked a little bit about the liquor license in house. There would be one that would be available, and this gentleman stopped me again the other day. I don't know.
Well, I don't know what license they have at Brick and Brew. I thought it was one of the D5
Okay.
permits. So I mean, those are available.
Sure,
Those are the more expensive ones.
sure.
They're available. So
All right.
is it the one that the beer only that
Yes.
they're looking for?
Yes.
Those are hot commodities, and
Sure.
that's based on population, from what we're told. And
Tell them to call the state legislature.
there aren't any more available, as far as I know. And if that's the case, then I mean they can always opt to get the more expensive one, the D5, which gives them
This
till
gentleman told me he's got that. already.
till 2 a.m. So that's, yeah. I mean they're available, I guess.
Okay.
It doesn't mean you have to sell everything. You can just sell beer under that license. If you want to just limit it to just selling beer on their own, they've got a license to cover everything, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
if he just wants to sell beer, he can do it under that license.
But I think what he's talking about, he doesn't want to pay the expense of the full D5.
Right.
Is that because it's a difference of like, I think $2,000 for that license.
Okay.
Maybe less, maybe more.
Right, customers, you make them back in a month.
You make that, right? Yeah. So, but as for that, I think we can, at this point, I mean, there's no occupancy or anything like that in the building, so.
Yeah, correct.
And is there, I know we talked about it last time, but maybe doing a follow-up inspection inside the building, is that something we can arrange to
do
go in
that,
there?
but yeah, right now it's just up to them getting it back into being able to occupy it and go back through, and it'll be with the building department, Kevin Schulteis, that's,
Yeah.
so.
Maybe we ought to,
And
because it's getting to be an eyesore.
yeah, no, I'll contact him.
Sure.
I'll contact Al. I've been meaning to do that anyways, but I wanted to make
Sure.
sure that, make sure the insurance settlements are completed, and, I think the fire inspection is completed, and the report's been out for a while, so, but he's on the clock right now too, to come into compliance with the building.
They
So,
had the front door open the other day and I had to stop at the traffic light there, and it just like the place was still burning.
yeah, I haven't seen any activity other than, Lawrence next door getting in and out of his upper floor, so. I will look
Yeah.
into it and report back.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. It's a good one.
I'm done. Dan?
Yeah, we do welcome you. We're glad to have you sitting in that
you.
seat. I know Chris is very glad to have you sitting in that seat. So we welcome you, and the only other thing I have is, much to the chagrin, I guess, of the council president, I am still a part-time educator, and I'm very much looking forward to June, because right now, it hasn't been a very good last several weeks. That is awesome.
Okay. Well, enjoy your June. I'm not sure who all was involved with the open house at the water treatment plant, but when I got there, I was really impressed with, first of all, the workers there and what an excellent job they did with the place. Was very tidy. I thought it would be a lot dirty, even though it was new. You know, and what that operation does, you would think it would be a little bit dirtier. That was really clean, and the number of people that were there and the way it was organized, it's an excellent job, I think. And the mayor did a great job too, by the way.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
Welcome, Kent.
Thank you.
Glad you're here. Well done, Chris. It's a lot to do for quite a while, so,
You did an excellent job selecting it.
well, appreciate that. Like you said, the water plant tour, I thought was knocked out of the park. That was really nice. So that was, everybody involved there did a heck of a job. We got an email that somebody wants to put something on the council agenda about cats,
Yes.
random cats in town.
Yes.
Is that something we want to take care of via a phone call or a visit and not have,
Yeah, I mean, we respond to,
did somebody respond already to this?
we respond to complaints like this often.
Okay,
I figured this was gonna come up, but, you know, as of right now, we don't enforce on there being cats in the neighborhood or have any mechanism to,
well, there's the question, right? Because how do you solve that issue?
the feral cat
22 out
issue.
the
So
window.
the Humane Society, they do have a program, if they have funding,
Right,
to go out, trap cats, and they can spay and neuter them, but then they re-release them.
right,
So they just don't keep reproducing.
Right.
They don't have the space or the funding to house all the cats.
right, yeah.
What if you have a neighbor that just leaves their cat out all the time?
There's a code that for feeding cats. I think that's the one that's been loosely used as the, you know, telling people can't feed the cats. Yeah, outside feral cats in the neighborhood. Other than that, there's not a lot.
There's not a lot in our code addressing stray cats.
Right.
It's not there.
Because what would we do? I mean, really, what would we do? Because either we're going to house them or dispose of, and neither one is a very cheap alternative.
Right.
The best alternative is just stop feeding them.
Right. Or have people stop feeding them.
Right.
Getting the people that are feeding them to stop feeding them. That's the key component.
Yeah.
Because apparently they're out, and I've noticed it more and more too, is that there's more and more cats out in different neighborhoods. They're everywhere.
There are 3 of them that have taken up residence at Alpine Village.
Is that right?
Because the little old ladies can take the stuff from the dining room outside.
And they feed the cats, yes.
And they've got cushions and everything out there for them, pillows for them.
Jeez.
Blankets.
Why don't we research how,
Yeah.
potential ways to deal with it?
I think the best way is,
Just look into it anyway.
Yeah, I
mean,
Do like a DC sleeper.
I just,
You're on the record.
I just,
I said he could.
But I think it's obviously worth looking into. I know that's going to be, if any action is taken, it's going to be pretty unpopular with a good portion of the city.
Right.
People enjoy feeding the cats or
Right.
keeping them around
Yep.
or so on. But I think this is it's something that has popped up at least once in the time that I've been here.
okay,
And I think warrants a little bit of research to try to figure out what we should do.
Okay.
So, but we
Just-
can start looking into
Yeah.
it.
It's the same thing with deer, like in Ottawa Hills. The deer in Ottawa Hills, there's a huge deer population in Ottawa Hills. And
Well, there's-
they were going to do a deer calling. I don't know if they actually did.
There's a deer problem in Napoleon.
Uh,
You ask the right people, and they, during the right time of year, they all come inside the city limits, because they know they're safe.
I have footprints in my flower garden where they were looking in my bedroom window.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. So it's a problem with people feeding.
I've
Feral
never had
cats.
deer in my backyard until this year, and even at 5 in the afternoon, they're laying down, and there's like 3 of them there laying down in my backyard.
Is that right?
And
So-
Councilman Commodore, I have not gotten a response back from
Sure.
the DNR on this yet, so.
Election day tomorrow, so get out and vote. The hiring committee continues to work on the next CIC director. We have second interviews scheduled for this week, so I'll be attending those. On Thursday, last Thursday, Chief Mack, Lieutenant Legg, and myself went to London, Ohio for the Ohio Fallen Police Officers or Safety Officers or Peace Officers, that's what it was, Peace Officers. In 2018, the state of Ohio lost 4 peace officers. One had a heat stroke during a training exercise. One was killed helping out at a traffic stop. The person that hit him was, I think, driving under the influence of alcohol and pills and all kinds of stuff. And the other 2 were answering a call. It was a 911 hang-up to a known domestic dispute situation, and both of them were fatally shot. So it was a moving ceremony. I thought the people that were involved did a great job. It was inside the gym there at the police academy, and at one point they had bagpipers come in, and they just kept coming in the gym, so it just got louder and louder and louder. So that was really, really something special. So, and the officers that stood at parade rest during the entire ceremony, you've stood at parade rest for a long time. You stood at parade rest for a long time. You have, I have, Jeff, you have. That was probably the longest I ever seen anybody stand at parade rest. It was very, very impressive. They read all the names of all the fallen since 1976, I think. So it was a very moving ceremony. And we went obviously for Officer Teeple, and I hope I never have to go back. So I'd be glad to go back, but hope I never have to go back. So, and that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Travis?
Welcome, Kat.
Thank you.
I was going to say something about the election and vote early and vote often, but the mayor stole that from mine.
I just said vote early. I didn't say anything about voting off.
No, that was what I was going to add.
Okay. Well,
So, other than that, I don't have anything.
Jeff?
Just to add my welcome, Kent. Glad to have you on board.
Thanks.
Thank you to Chris and Roxanne both for the job you did. Excellent job filling in. Thank you. I assume the spring cleanup went very well. It looked like what I saw, except for the rain. I think they did a good job. Just want to kudos to the crews out there doing that, especially in the rain. So,
It did.
any problems?
No, actually, they went really well, given the circumstances of the rain. I think they finished today. I'm going to have to double check that. I didn't
Yes,
follow
they
to
did.
see if they did. They did?
They finished.
There might be a couple, like, tire things that they got to clean up yet, after they get the rims off from Zach's and dispose of some tires. But other than that, yeah, it went okay. We had a truck hydraulic line leak at the landfill on Friday, but Tony Kuhlman went out there and saved the day and got him back on the road and back to the shop. So, but I didn't hear of any other issues really. But we're going to revisit, how we do the spring cleanup, fall cleanup, and the procedures and timing and everything, just to make sure that we're doing it efficiently and cost effectively. But we'll see when the numbers come back where they shake out and how they look compared to previous years. I know last year we had 2 times where both spring and fall cleanups were higher expenses than previous years. So we'll report back when we get those numbers in.
Thank you. Just to add what the mayor and Travis said, vote, make sure you vote tomorrow. Vote yes, please, for the pool. If you're going to vote no, please stay home. I'll add that from what they said. Municipal properties is still on for next Monday?
I think,
Yes.
yes.
I will not be here, so I just want to make sure
No
you
lie.
had it known.
We haven't met for a while. Okay, thank you, Jeff.
And the mayor won't be here either, so.
Oh, you won't be here?
Well,
Oh. Maybe we won't meet. I don't know what's on the agenda.
Yeah, we can, I'll tell you what, I'll follow up with you, and there are some items to discuss, but we can still have the meeting, discuss them, and then bring them to full council if something needs to be brought to full council.
Okay.
If
That's
that
fine
works.
with me.
But I'll follow up with you to make sure we need to keep it on the agenda.
Thank you. Thanks.
yep, that's all I have. Thank you.
Ken?
Mr. Seaman, welcome.
Thank you.
2 days of sunshine have made our city look much brighter than it did the 9 days before.
Sure did.
Very true.
But I noticed the sun went away right when I walked out of work today. I saw it through my window all day long. I'd walk out there and it was gone. So, story of my life.
That's Joe Ballaruki for the weather people. Joe Ballaruki.
Very good. Billy?
Welcome to Kent. I would ask for an executive session under security arrangements.
Okay.
And I'm only doing that because Joel said he's doing some too. So, otherwise I'd save it.
Right.
Might as well.
I'm not even calling you.
It's too late now.
Go ahead.
Economic development, requesting economic development or executive session on economic development, and also an executive session for matters to remain confidential due to the competitive nature of a utility. Also, a couple other items, just to updates. Napoleon Alive is in the process of painting the flower pots downtown, so if you see them on Perry Street, they've been painted. They've got 8 out of the 24 of them painted so far. They're stained. They're a dark gray color.
They look really nice.
There's a press conference scheduled. This is being coordinated through the Chamber and the Buckeye Trail System group. So Dr. Kruger. May 16th, 4 p.m. at Ritter Park.
No, Warwick Park.
No, it's Ritter.
That changed?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was told Warwick Park.
Nope, it changed.
Apparently, I didn't want you to be there.
Guess not, yeah. I guess they want me to be there. That's fine.
No.
He's
And it's for a designation as Napoleon as a trail town, so it'll be. Joel Miller talked it over with Tony Cotter, and Ritter Park seems to be the more logical location for that. There is one item that Kent and I have to bring up. This was brought to my attention today. The BWC, let me pull it out here. This is annual legislation to enter into the Ohio Rural Water Pool through BWC, and since they need action by council by the end of May, I'm going to request that council direct the law director to draft legislation to have this on the agenda for the next council meeting.
So I have a question.
Yep.
Resolution 1918 here. This is the one council passed under this resolution, including ourselves in this workers' compensation pool through the end of this year. So it's the remainder of 2018 and the entire year of 2019 under this legislation. So we're needing to go forward from 2019 to 2020, is that?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. This is a time of year usually when we do that, there's a fee involved to get into the group rating. And then we get into that.
But our inclusion in this group isn't we're not already there with the legislation that we've already passed. Are we doubling up on legislation? I guess is my question, because this legislation here has us through the end of this year. So we don't, to be included in this group, we don't have to do anything for the rest of the year. Okay.
Yeah, for the rest of this year, no, we're
Okay.
we're good.
But
It's just
for
moving
after that,
into
okay.
for next year.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's it's a yearly thing. They gave us 2 options this year. One is just to be in the regular group rating, which is what we've been in years past. And then there's what they call a retro. There's a little bit more risk involved with the retro rating. The potential there is to get a little bit more of a discount. But as I looked at the numbers, the amount of a difference between the group and the retro, in my opinion, was not good enough to proceed into that retro. So I would recommend that we stay within the group rating out of their group.
Yeah, that is for 2020.
Okay, can I have a motion to direct the law director to write the legislation?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeffy,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
Anything else, Joel?
That's it.
Okay.
One attaboy. You have anything for me next week? Or water sewer?
Not at this time. If I do, I'll let you know.
Okay. Good enough. And Ken,
So,
sorry I didn't say the same thing as the rest of councilmen. Sometimes I don't think.
That's quite all right.
Sure.
You were focused.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kevin's over there keeping track of who said.
I got
That's right.
Yeah.
Getting the vibes already.
Yeah.
That's what I'm writing the note.
All right. Could I have a motion to go into executive session for security arrangements?
So moved.
Second.
Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis,
Yes.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
Could I have a motion to go into executive session for economic development?
So moved.
Second.
Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
And could I have a motion to go into executive session for matters to remain confidential? And I couldn't write down everything else you said there.
That'll work.
Public utility.
That'll work. Protect the utility.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis,
Yes.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
I'm fine with that.
Not me, though. I don't think. Could I have a motion to come out of executive session for security arrangements?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
Okay, can I have a motion to come out of executive session for economic development?
So moved.
Second.
I'll let you go.
Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
And another motion to come out of executive session for matters to remain confidential.
So move.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Justine,
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Travis,
Yes.
Jeff Downs.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item L. Approved payments of bills and approved financial reports. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the payment of bills and financial reports shall stand approved. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Justine.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Jeff Downs.
Yes.
All